What's going on, everyone? Today we are taking a look at a new portable power station. This is the VTOMAN FlashSpeed 300. Taking a look at some of the specs, this has a 230 watt hour LiFePO 4 battery, a 300 watt power handling with a peak of 600 watts, a 100 watt solar charging input, and is very lightweight at only 7.4 pounds. Taking a look inside the box, you have your user manual, a USB-A to USB-C charging cable, a USB-C to USB-C charging cable, a cigarette port charging adapter, your AC charging adapter, and last but not least, you have the actual power station itself. So taking a look at the power station itself, this truly is a portable power station. It is very compact and lightweight, and then you have this handle on top, which makes it very easy to carry. I love that they went with a slim form factor instead of a smaller but fatter form factor, because this allows you to store it in more smaller spaces. And then if you have it in your car, you could just tuck it at the side of your trunk and it's barely going to take any space at all. Taking a look at your ports, you have 3 USB-A ports, a DC output port that does 12 volts 10 amps. You have a 100 watt USB-C port, and this is a bi-directional port, so you can charge devices from this port and also charge the power station from this port as well. Then you have your DC input, which is where you connect your AC charging adapter. Coming to this side, you have 2 AC outlets, and as I said earlier, this does a maximum of 300 watts. Flipping the power station over, you do have a built-in light, which has a few different functions. Then last but not least, right here in the front, you have your screen where you have your battery percentage, your input and output voltages, and then it also shows you indicators if you have different parts of the power station on or off. So when it comes to charging, typically I'm not a fan of having an external AC adapter, but with this case, I fully approve it, as removing this from the power station allows them to make it smaller and also lighter as well. And plus the addition that you can also charge it from the USB-C port. So honestly, you don't even have to use this at all. You can just put that to the side and always just charge it directly right here in that 100 watt port. When it comes to charging times from both the AC adapter and the USB-C port, this charges from 0 to 100 in about 2.4 to 2.6 hours. And then if you're charging it from the car, you can also get the same charge time from the car cigarette charging adapter. Despite being a very small power station, you can charge this with solar as well, as this accepts up to 100 watts of solar. If you're charging this from 0 to 100, this will charge off solar within 3 to 6 hours. Alright, so I drained this power station from 100% to 0 using about a 250 watt load, and it put out a total of 202 watt hours. Doing the math, that gives this unit a usable capacity of 87.8%. Most power stations of this size put out about 80 to 85% on average, so this is slightly better than most units out there. Alright, let's go ahead and test out the inverter on this. As I said earlier, this is rated to do 300 watts with a peak of 600 watts. Right here I have my 14-inch MacBook Pro. Let's go ahead and plug that into the USB-C port. It has a little over half battery, so it's probably not going to draw its full wattage. I think at max it pulls about 70 watts, but it's probably going to be about 50. So it looks like it's charging at 43 watts, 47 watts now. I have my Samsung S9 tablet, but since this doesn't have more USB-C ports, I'm just going to go ahead and plug in one of these charger boxes to the AC port. We're now pulling 80 watts. Let me go ahead and plug something else into this charger as well. Another USB-C cable. I have some headphones here. Let me go ahead and plug that into the USB-A port. I have a Bluetooth speaker. Let me go ahead and plug that into the other USB-A port. It looks like some of this is not drawing very much, so let me go ahead and plug in a power bank. So that power bank is drawing about 50 watts. So it looks like all in, I just unplugged the cell phone. So right now we're charging a MacBook Pro, laptop, a portable speaker, a tablet, and a power bank, and that's barely pulling 100 watts. So as you can see, when it comes to regular everyday tech, that's going to be no problem for this power station. Again, it runs 300 watts, so with regular everyday tech, you could fill up every single port on this power station and you're still probably going to be under that 300 watt limit. One common question I always get with power stations is, can it run a fridge? So if you're looking at this and you're looking to run a fridge with it, honestly, it's a 50-50 of whether it can run your fridge or not. The running wattage typically isn't the problem because you can get many fridges that pull less than 300 watts, but the problem is usually with the starting watts. When that compressor starts up, usually they draw a much higher wattage and then it settles down to its running wattage. So depending on what that starting load is, this might be able to run it or it might trip the power station. If you have another power station or a watt meter, I would recommend plugging the fridge into that and see what kind of wattage it draws when the compressor kicks on. If it's below 600 watts, then this should be able to run it. If not, then this would not be a good option. If you need something that pulls more watts, I would recommend taking a look at VTOMAN's website, as they do have a bunch of different power stations that can do a lot more power than this one. Overall, this is going to be a great on-the-go power station. I know a lot of power stations call themselves portable power stations because technically they are portable, but this truly is portable, like I said earlier. So you can go to the beach, camping, road trip, wherever you might need some extra power, and this is going to be a very handy device to have with you. So I know there's a lot of people out there that get nervous when it comes to storing batteries like this in their house, but rest assured you don't have anything to worry about, as all VTOMAN power stations come with their LIFEBMS protection. This continuously monitors and protects the power station from overvoltage, short circuits, temperatures, and many other things as well. Overall, this is definitely a solid power station. It's extremely portable, it performs well, and best of all, it's also very affordable as well. So overall, if you happen to be shopping for a compact portable power station, I would highly recommend this one here, which again is the VTOMAN FlashSpeed 300.